Welcome back, guys, to my channel. Thank you. I'm reviewing a movie today that not a lot of big YouTubers have reviewed. It's more of a smaller movie, um, and it's weird because the cast itself there's a lot of great cast members in the movie and a lot of sort of bigger names that are attached to the project. And I'm surprised that it didn't garner more attention than it has, and not a lot of people have seen it at all. So. I think it's only made, what was it? It's only made $16 million over its span. It came out this year, but it's very weird. It's a different movie for the director because the director has made a lot of movie adaptation type of movies that didn't pan out well at all. Adaptations of comic books and an adaptation of a book. Those two movies were Wolverine Origins, which was a terrible, terrible movie, and Ender's Game, which on first watch I thought was actually a good movie. Found out it was very bad after you watch it again and again. It didn't show what the greatness of the book actually was, which I loved. It's one of my favorite books of all time. Without further ado, this is the Eye in the Sky movie review. So, Eye in the Sky is a 2016 movie. Came out around March-ish. Didn't actually garner a lot of success in the box office. Then people started watching it. Reviews started coming out. So they basically kind of re-released it almost, or put it back in theaters. And I understand why, because it is a great movie, and it's made by, like I said before, it's made by a guy that hasn't really had a lot of success. At least maybe he's had success at the kind of smaller budget, kind of foreign film type of movies. That would be a movie, I forgot his name. It's like Tuatzi. It's a foreign film that came out around 2006. Since then, he's made some mediocre movies. He made, like I said, X-Men Origins, Wolverine, which was panned by the critics, and thank God, because it ruined majority of the X-Men. It basically derailed the train for further X-Men movies and almost killed the franchise. And then he made Ender's Game, which had some good parts to the movie, but overall it just felt like a cash grab. And some of the moments and some of the ideologies in the movie didn't work, unlike the book. If they should have focused more on the book, and some of the characters they changed didn't make sense. Especially one of the characters that's supposed to be bigger and stronger than the main character, so that's an actual challenge, is actually smaller and weak. It's really weird. But his direction in this film is very grounded. It's very focused, and it looks like he knows his craft. It's just he's got unlucky with these types of movies, and those movies could have been, to me, could have been a fault on the studio. Could have been certain things happen, but this movie kind of shows that he's actually a great director. Eye in the Sky is one of my favorite movies of 2016 so far. It's because it focuses on one event. It has a bigger picture. It's trying to have you focus on. It's trying to narrow. It's trying to show you this whole big picture of war and of this and that, of human kind of moments, what it is to be human. Should we in our head believe that these people are just animals and they should be slaughtered? It has a big picture, but it's focused on kind of one event. Even though it's been done before, it doesn't feel cliche. It doesn't feel like they're trying to force a kind of idea down our throat. It just wants to show us one event and shows us, hey, this happens, and this happens a lot. So the plot of the movie, it basically shows the UK working with the United States on to basically capture these very wanted and very bad terrorists. I think it's like number 4, number 5, or number 9. I might get my numbers wrong, but they're 3 of the top 10 wanted terrorists in the eastern type of the world, that eastern part of the world. And they're all meeting with a kind of like dictator in Kenya, and they're meeting in one house. Their point is to go in there and arrest him and put him on trial, basically, right? Well, it gets complicated after that. So certain intel didn't work very well, and they got misinformation, and one of the terrorists were already in the house itself. So when they left, so they didn't know that the terrorist already was in there. So the car left, and they followed them all the way into like a kind of like terrorist stronghold, which took part of the city over, kind of. It's like a military militia group, kind of like that, and they get into this one house. Well, the problem is that they can't. It takes too many people to go and to try to kill them and try to. They would have to get through the guards to get through this, to get through the streets and try to go get them. So their next option is just to blow up the place, kill these guys, take the losses as casualties of war, basically. The problem is that casualties of war, they have to kind of go around the political and moral system of the government, and they have to balance between two different people. They have to help. Obviously, the United States has the eye in the sky, which is basically kind of like a satellite dish that can look down on these people. So that their point is that they have to go through these different steps to take it, and it gets frustrating because you have to kind of focus in your life. Okay, you have to understand that, okay, yeah, these people have to go through these things. The clock is ticking down where these terrorists are in the thing, and you can see them planning a bombing of a square or something. They're planning to bomb something because they have like the terrorist jackets to bomb people, the suicide jackets. So time is ticking down, and it's ticking down pretty fast. Like in the next 30 minutes, they have to make a decision, and it jumps back between the people actually controlling it, where they were going to blow them up, and the people that are in basically sitting in their nice, comfy chairs, demanding, telling people, do this, do this, do this, do this, basically in charge, disconnected from the war. And that kind of premise is really cool. It hasn't been done in a while. I haven't seen it since probably like Apocalypse Now, where they're they're kind of disconnected from the war. And one of the general, he explains, and he's like, these are the casualties of war. And at the very end, he explains, hey, never tell a soldier what the casualties of war is to a guy he's like, when you're eating and eating your crumpets, don't tell a soldier, because he's actually assisted on 10 suicide bombings, and he understands that if these people leave this place, more people than just the people in the room could die, and it's more of a moral thing. Well, it gets even more complicated when a little girl is selling, she's selling like bread for her family, right? And her house is actually right behind this terrorist organization house. Well, she's in front of the terrorist house, and the radius would kill her. So they try to like rework it to try to bomb this place, make sure that this girl survives. There's also a guy on the ground too, which you got to worry about his safety too, because he has remote control to try to go into the house and see what's in the house and everything. He actually, his camera actually finds out certain places, and it has like little markers on a map. So all this thing comes together, and it's very interesting because, yes, I got frustrated with the movie because I'm like, come on, just blow it up already. And then you understand, you're like, wait a minute, this is a little girl that even if you bomb this place and you kill her, her death could spark an outrage, could spark the parents' outrage, could spark this outrage, could spark another outrage, and that's just causing what they're trying to stop. The movie does a good job of showing this human interaction between and this disconnect, the human action between the guys that are doing it, the guys that are actually firing it, where they have a hard time of killing this little girl. The disconnect from the high commander, one of the ladies, that does a fantastic job. I've seen her in other movies. I can't think of her name off the hand, but Alan Rickman, rest in peace. If you don't know Alan Rickman, he's done a lot of movies: Die Hard, Snape from the Harry Potter franchise, and the Caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland. He recently died, so I'm so sad about that because I love Snape. I grew up on those movies. He's the commander, and he's basically like the head soldier that's basically trying to tell the prime minister this information, trying to tell his partner, the prime minister's partner this, trying to tell this lady, like, who's so against this. She does not want, even if that girl wasn't there, she doesn't want these people to die. She knows that they're humans. So the interaction between him on the computer with the lady who's relaying the information back to the people that are actually killing them is very interesting. The dialogue is a very dialogue-driven movie, and the dialogue is very interesting, and it gets you engaged in the movie, and it gets you pissed off and gets you mad, but then you realize at the end why they have to take these precautionary things to secure basically a human right, a moral right, a political thing, and it's almost like a kind of criticism on on every single step, on both sides of the story. Who's bad? Who's really good? Who's this? Who's that? And it ties in very well on this one issue, and the one issue is just people dying, lives being taken, and should we go that route where we become animals? Is it like an animalistic behavior, or is it just a casualty of wars, that these people are about to kill people and that we have to act now? And that whole tie-in with the ideologies of the movie and ideologies of this and that, when they tie it in together, he does a very great thing, and that might be because of the screenwriter, but the direction of the movie, the tone, everything about the movie is great. It's a fantastic movie. Go see it, please. Go see it. It's better than any of the stuff that's out right now. It's a movie where you can sit down and enjoy. It's not action packed. It's not like everybody dying. It's just one incident, but it's very, very kind of emotional and very touching. I'll give it an A. A solid A. 9.4, if that helps. It's a fantastic movie. Go see it, please. I wish more YouTube reviewers would go see it, so more audiences can enjoy the same movie as I did. So what do you guys think about it? Do you guys like it? Do you wish more people would see it? Do you not like it? Of course, it's okay if you don't like it. It is it's very stale at some parts, but it's still a really good movie in my opinion. So go see it. I hope you guys go see it. Please drop a like, subscribe if you can. Like always, I'll see you next week, and this is the Brennan Sullivan Show. See you later.